Welcome to World Fox Racing PlayStation. We continue to cover the Transatlantic Cup, which goes through 5 UK and US circuits with the Ginetta G40 that you can see there on the screen, and later on the Renault Clio Cup. This is round 2, so race number 3 and number 4 out of 10 races, and today we are at Oulton Park in the United Kingdom. Oulton Park International, the full layout of this amazing circuit, and we have a very strong grid today with 11 drivers, and Delphi Moura is on pole position, followed by Diogo Silva. Gonçalo Mota on the second row, third place, followed by Simon Allen. Fifth place is Jorge Jesus and Diogo Almeida. 7th is Cavallo, 8th is Jambo, 9th is Darren Head. He's starting at the back. Let's see what he can do from there. Peter Adrian in 10th and John Scott in 11th. We have 11 laps here. It's around 20 minutes of racing, and now we are ready to go. And a little bit of movement there by some drivers, but it's a good start by Delphi Moura. It's a good start there, the back by Jorge Jesus and also by Diogo Almeida. Let's see if they all go through the first corner. But Delphi Moura, what a start. He's already a few car lengths ahead of pretty much everyone in that number 30 baby blue. A few drivers there running wide, and we have an incident already. We have Gonçalo Mota, the man in third place, has been shuffled to the back of the pack. We're going to see a replay of what happened here. He seems to be the only car involved, or at least the only car affected by this incident. Was he? Well, he's been off the track, and there was contact there between him and someone else. Let's have a look at the start. Not the greatest of starts for Gonçalo Mota, but let's see what happened to his blue Ginetta. There it is. Well, not a bad start really. He keeps. Oh, that's who's that? That's Jorge Jesus on the left hand side, and they'll try to run side by side through the first corner, which is possible. Oh, and they just clip one another, and then gets hit by another driver. I think it was Simon Allen there. Let's have a look at this from Simon's perspective. Simon Allen did lose quite a bit of time as well. He was starting in 4th and ended up off the track as well slightly. Diogo Almeida is behind him, so let's have a quick look. Jorge Jesus makes a great start. He's coming with a lot of momentum. Diogo Almeida on the inside of Simon Allen into turn 1. Now it should be possible to run side by side. In fact, there was not too much space that Jorge Jesus left there. Could have given a bit more space, surely, and Gonçalo Mota also clipped the curb. That's what put him slightly out of shape. Anyway, the race goes on. We could have had a safety car, but not sure if anyone called for it. Gonçalo Mota is 5 seconds behind the pack. Let's see if how much he can recover. That number 57 there of Cavallo. When Cavallo almost hits the back of, I believe it was Diogo Almeida there. Cavallo loses quite a bit of time, and is also, well, loses an enormous amount of time just by outbraking himself there. But look at this. Look at Delphi Moura. He's got 2 seconds already of a gap. He's got 2 seconds of a gap there. Well, already seems to be running away with it as other drivers. Jorge Jesus is off. Jorge Jesus is off. He's in the racing line. Everyone is avoiding him. Let's have a quick look at what happened with Jorge Jesus, because he has been battling with Diogo Silva throughout this first lap. Did they come together? Doesn't seem like it. But let's have a quick look at... there was a bit of pushing and shoving there following... Well, first of all, let's see who was ahead of Cavallo. It was Diogo Almeida. Cavallo almost ran into the back of him. Look at this, some tight racing here through this hairpin. Now, great exit here from Jorge. And Diogo Silva has a bit of wheel spin. Now they go side by side into a place that normally only fits one car. Diogo Silva seems to have a little bit of an advantage, and he's having none of it, and takes the racing line. No harm, no foul there, as Jorge continues to chase. Now, are they going to come together post the chicane is the key question. Look at Delphimore already, a couple of seconds ahead. This is amazing, just in basically half a lap. Now does George just try anything here? No. Oh no, he just clips that very solid part of the racetrack. He's a nice rejoin there, safely rejoining and leaving space for cars with more momentum, but this means okay, Valant goes through as well. So now at the back we've got Gonçalo Mota, Jorge Jesus after that off, and Kev Allen also after that off. In 8th place is John Scott, 70s Peter Adrian, 60s Jumbo, 50s Simon Allen. Look at this, Simon Allen and Darren Head side by side there in the last corner. It seems to me job done for Simon Allen, recovering from that incident at the start, and he's up into 4th place. But the real driver running away from everyone is Delphimora, who is now already 2.4 seconds ahead of Diogo Silva. Up into 3rd goes Diogo Almeida, following the demise of Jorge Jesus at the back end of the last time. Look at these drivers there, really running wide, and Darren Head has not given up on Simon Allen. That number 11 is in 4th place, but look at this, Darren Head in 5th, and then 6th is Jambo, 7th is Peter Adrian, 8th is John Scott, then is Kev Allen and Jorge Jesus. And it seems to me that, of course, as drivers kind of like battle with one another, they end up just losing a little bit of time. So there is a bit of a train here being formed around Simon Allen. Look at this, Jumbo is all over the back of Darren Head as well. We'll keep an eye on the gap at the front, but it is increasing. I can tell you it was 2.4, now it's 2.6. A bit of running wide there by Simon Allen. Darren Head has had a poor exit there in the number 49, the red and black car. And look at this, there's a bit of a train here. Simon Allen, Darren Head, Jumbo, Peter Adrian, and then at the back is John Scott, already under pressure from Kev Allen and Jorge Jesus. These two drivers were ahead of John prior to their incidents. We fully expect them to have a little bit more pace, and Kev Allen is already going for it. Kev Allen is already going for it, and side by side there, John Scott wisely, is he going to let him through? Well, he didn't let him through, but at least didn't make life too difficult for Kev Allen. The next man in line is Jorge Jesus, who is in 10th place, and now, surely is going to be 9th very, very shortly. By the looks of it, look at the pace that Jorge Jesus has. He was running in 2nd place. He had a great start, had this clash with Gonçalo Mota in turn 1, and then had an off-road excursion on his own at the end of lap 1. We are already on lap 3 out of 11, but John Scott now making life a little bit more difficult to Jorge Jesus than he has made to Kev Allen. By the way, Darren Head is ahead of we kind of missed that, so we're going to have a quick replay, as this was for a leading position. It was for 4th place. Again, the cameras in Project Cars 2 are somewhat erratic, and this is how it has happened. In fact, Darren Head was oh no, somehow just missed the apex altogether, goes to the grass. Darren Head was actually far behind, but says thank you very much to Simon Allen. Simon, a clear mistake on his own, misses the apex, ends up almost in the barrier, and now he's got Jumbo all over him. And by the way, John Scott has been overtaken by Jorge Jesus. We just saw the aftermath of that. So John cycles back to 10th. Up into 9th goes Jorge Jesus, and he can see, look at this, he can see. Oh no, crash, big crash there by Kev Allen. Big crash on Jorge Jesus, also loses it in sympathy. Let's have a quick replay of what happened. Gonçalo Mota, by the way, is up into 10th, but Kev Allen completely lost it, and if you lose it in this corner, you normally don't have a lot of steering. Oh, and he was, in fact, Peter Adrian also lost it in this corner. You can take this flat out, but Peter just has a little bit of a bad line there, and Kev follows, and then ends up in the barrier. You can see Jorge Jesus there also missing his braking point, and Gonçalo Mota up into 10th place. Disastrous race for Kev Allen so far. Already only 2.5 laps in, he's already had 2 off-road excursions, and both of them in the same place. Now in 11th, 10th is Gonçalo Mota. Jorge Jesus also not the greatest of races. He has now the driver that he tangled with in turn 1 right behind him, and John Scott again up into 8th place, and now with a comfortable 3-second cushion. Up 7th is Peter Adrian. 6th is Jumbo, 5th is Simon Allen, and Darren Head, and the great pressure from Simon Allen. Almost you couldn't see Darren Head's car there, the green car, sorry, the Simon's car, the green car, because he's so glued to he's going for it in the last corner. Nice move there by Simon Allen, nice move there, opportunistic, but it wasn't a dive bomb, and good to see some good moves there. And Jumbo now wants a piece of that action as well, as he is in 6th place. The gap at the front is 3.5 seconds. Delphi Moura is running away with this race. He was very competitive in the opening round at Donington Park, didn't manage to win any of the races, but now he's taking revenge, he's going for it, although there's still plenty of racing to go on. And Darren Head and Simon Allen almost get together there. Now Jumbo is going to go for it. Jumbo is going to go for it, or is he? No, he's not, because Darren Head just shuts the door and keeps the racing line. And behind these drivers we have Peter Adrian. He is not that far behind. We expected to see this close racing with the Ginetta, and we are getting it. Let's run through the field. Delphi Moura is on his own, followed 3.3 seconds by Diogo Silva. Then is Diogo Almeida in 3rd. Diogo Almeida is only a couple of seconds behind Diogo Silva. We'll keep an eye on that gap. Now is the big scramble, which is Simon Allen now back into 4th place, and it seems to have a little bit more pace at this stage. Darren Head is under severe pressure from Jumbo. Peter Adrian is there at the back, and right behind Peter Adrian is John Scott. John Scott doing a great job there. He's recovering ground, getting more used to this car, and is now actually putting a lot of pressure. And two drivers running the same livery. No, it's not, well, the same livery but different numbers. Number 40 is Peter Adrian, number 39 is John Scott. They are not teammates. We do not run teams in Old Fox Racing PlayStation. We just ask drivers to select their own livery and their own number from what's available in Project Cars 2. But certainly these guys are at it for 7th place, because George Zeus as well is recovering ground now, and a couple more laps and he will probably be at the back of these two, John Scott and Peter Adrian. Simon Allen, by the way, has done a great lap now, 1:48.728. He's faster than the driver ahead, who is Diogo Almeida, and he's well, same pace as the leader right now, so he has somewhat checked out from Darren Head. Let's keep an eye on that battle. Darren Head also has checked out a little bit from Jumbo, and it's now Peter Adrian and John Scott that are battling more closely. And the driver on the move is George Zeus. He's done a 1:48.614. That was the fastest. Well, no, it wasn't the fastest, because Diogo Silva in 2nd place was faster, but it was a very fast lap indeed compared to the drivers ahead. Things beginning to sort out a little bit more now as we reach the midpoint of this race. So big exit through the grass there. Oh, look at George Zeus also. A little bit of a track limits situation there, surely, with George Zeus. But pretty much every driver has been doing that sort of exit in some of the laps. Ooh, a little bit of a curve clipping there by John Scott. That didn't help his lap. Let's go to the field. Delphi Moura is going to finish lap 5. Almost at the midpoint of this race. Diogo Silva, 2nd place. 3rd place is Diogo Almeida. Now what's the gap? Oh, look at this, there is no gap. There is absolutely no gap whatsoever. Diogo Almeida is struggling, and Simon Allen is going for it now on the outside of the final corner. He did the move on the inside of the final corner the previous lap. Can he do it again? Yes, he can almost run side by side and actually not lose that much momentum. Now he's on the inside, but unfortunately that's going to become the outside, and disaster for Diogo Almeida. He's had a really poor lap, 1:55.19. Surely there was a mistake there that we didn't catch, and now it's all over. The scramble is all over again. Now this is a little bit tricky to run side by side here, but as you can see, Simon Allen needs to go into the curb. Oh, and now runs out of road. Simon Allen runs out of road, and he is taking a very wide line there. Where is he going to re-emerge? He's going to re-emerge, as we expect, at the back end of this group. That was a little bit of a naive move there. There wasn't really an opportunity to go on the outside there. It's very easy to just lose it. Look at Diogo Almeida. His tires are a little bit gone, and this car normally lasts, 4 to 5 laps with a very good tire wear, and then it all comes down the cliff. Simon Allen from 4th to 6th. As Darren Head and Jumbo go up into 4th and 5th respectively. George Zush has overtaken John Scott and is now making a move on Peter Adrian on the outside there. Seems to be job done. Yes, it was job done. George Zush recovering. Peter Adrian down into 8th. John Scott down into 9th. We'll keep an eye on the battle there for 3rd place, as now seems to be 0.8 of a second between Diogo Almeida and Darren Head. We'll also keep an eye on Simon Allen's ability to recover some ground after losing time look at this, Simon Allen is already up into, yes, he is going, oh, and a bit of contact there, a bit of pushing and shoving, but Simon Allen making his signature move, which seems to be on the inside of the last corner. Jumbo did try to put some resistance, and there was contact between the two drivers. No harm, no foul with this car. A bit of argy-bargy is expected. Number 38 down into 6th place. George Zuz is on the move. He's done a 1:49.296, but this was a lap where he had to overtake 2 cars. So we fully expect. Look at this. There's Peter Adrian and John Scott are at it now. Peter Adrian and John Scott at number 40 and at number 39. It seems to be that John Scott is job done now. Job done for John Scott. That was a good move, and that's how we overtake in that corner. Going on the inside is a bit more likely to work. Gonçalo Mota is in 10th place and actually gaining some ground on these two. So they need to be careful, as they're not exactly being super fast by going at each other in every corner. George Luz in 7th, Jumbo in 6th, Simon Allen, Darren Head. Darren Head has lost touch with Diogo Almeida again. Diogo Almeida regained his composure. Now you look at the lap times dropping, it's everyone on 150s. Gonçalo Mota has done a 149, and race leader Delphi Moura is now more than 5 seconds ahead, has done a 148. So pretty much looks like he's got different tires than everyone else that don't have any tire wear. A lot of ability by Delphi Moura to be making those times, those lap times now on lap 6. Let's look at lap 7, what's going to happen, as he's now completing the lap. So we'll keep an eye on how much the times are dropping there. Number 30 crosses the line. It's a 1:48.8, and that's a pretty good lap time. Diogo Silva in 2nd place is a 1:49.3, better but still slower. Then we've got the scramble. Diogo Almeida 1:48.607. That was a good lap by Diogo Almeida. Checked out from Darren Head in 4th. Then is Simon Allen in 5th. Look at these people stationary there, drinking their coffee, watching the race. That Ginetta is in 4th place. Darren Head, that red and black car. Simon Allen still wants to have a go one more time at that 4th place. Then is Jumbo, and look at this, George Zush is already only a 1.5 seconds behind Jumbo. He's recovering some ground. He's got 3 laps to go at the end of this one, so there's still plenty of time, around 5 minutes, perhaps 6-7 minutes at most, to make some ground here and salvage a relatively good result after that great start. But then oh no, there's a driver there at the back. It is George Zuz. No, it does not use the reset button, not that we have seen. But what happened to George Zuz? Another mistake. He's really pushing hard, and this time he went and had contact with the barrier. Doesn't seem to have clipped anything. So it's a bit of an odd incident, because everything looks fine. Oh, just too much acceleration there, and now he is a little bit stuck. Goes back, but drops back into not last place, because Kev Allen, who's not having a great day, is now, well, he drops to last actually. George Zush in 11th, Kev Allen up into 10th. Gonçalo Mota is now putting some pressure on Peter Adrian. Peter Adrian also moving a little bit backwards in this race, as he goes overtaken by first John Scott, and now it's going to be Gonçalo Mota. Gonçalo making a bit of a recovery into 8th place. That's a good good recovery race. And remember, he was 5 seconds behind the whole field at the end of the first lap. Now he's got 3 other drivers behind him, and he's having great pace. 1:49 at this point is a great pace. He can still go after John Scott. John Scott and Jumbo. Well, Jumbo is also slower than John Scott, a second in this lap. And look at this. There is battle for third. Battle for third as Diogo Almeida has had another poor... Well, he's not had a poor lap. 1:49.5. It's Darren Head that has suddenly found the pace. 1:48.533. That's amazing on lap 8 of this race with the tire wear that this car has. All of a sudden we have again the podium, a podium position open for Darren Head, and of course as these two drivers battle, could be an opportunity for Simon Allen to come back. Diogo Almeida continues to resist the pressure of Darren Head. There is Diogo Silva. He's actually not that far ahead. 5 seconds is the gap, but perhaps a little bit too much for 2 laps to go without a big mistake by Diogo Silva. And of course Delphi Moura is ahead by 6 seconds and is going to win under normal circumstances this race. Darren Head is now trying to make a move here, a little bit tricky of to pass here unless you are side by side already by the time the corner starts. Now this is the real opportunity, if you just get a good exit out of here and then doing the Simon Allen signature move on the inside, and Darren is thinking about it. He's going for it, he's going for it, he's going for the move, he's going for the move, and Diogo Almeida shuts the door. And well, he was sort of entitled to shut the door, but thankfully none of the two drivers actually lost almost any time. But importantly for Darren Head, he is now ahead of Diogo Almeida and up into 3rd place. Let's have a quick look at the replay of this move by Darren and whether he was really side by side or not. I mean, it is possible to just make a little bit of a dive in the last corner without it being a dive bomb, and so we saw Simon Allen do that quite successfully. Now Darren is coming with a bit more momentum. He's thinking about it. Now he decides. Diogo Almeida clearly sees him, and well, they could run side by side. Diogo Almeida is slightly ahead and probably felt correctly that he's entitled to this corner. They tango, which makes Diogo Almeida go a little bit out of shape, and Darren takes the position. I will give this an acceptable RG with this car. But these two have completed... Oh, and something happened to Simon Allen. What on earth happened to Simon Allen? Simon Allen is shown in 8th place behind Gonçalo Mota. He's done a 1:56, which is a pretty poor lap time when other drivers are doing between 1:48 and 1:50. So something structural has happened to Simon Allen in this lap number 9, and Simon Allen's race not going in the right direction at all after him being in contention for a podium. And I think that yes, it is the usual place, which is the exit. It's the same that caught Jorge Jesus on the previous lap, except that Simon Allen, instead of too much wheel spin here on the exit, he actually is completely out of shape, and then he's trying not to spin, but he does so. Beautiful 360. There goes Jumbo, there goes John Scott, and there goes Gonçalo Mota as well, coming with more momentum. So not a great lap there for Simon Allen. He's still ahead of Peter Adrian, Kev Allen, and Jorge Jesus. Jorge Jesus running last, and that's exactly not the position that you would like to be running. Gonçalo Mota, nice recovery from that turn 1 incident. He was 5 seconds behind the whole field, and now he's got 6th place inside. Can he do something about it? Can he actually go after John Scott? And actually Jumbo is not that far ahead either. Delphi Moura is far ahead of everyone, as we saw. Diogo Silva now running 2nd, 6 seconds, and Darren Head in 3rd place. Only 2 laps to go. Diogo Almeida has not given up on that podium, and the car behind always has a little bit of an advantage. There is a very minor drafting, which is strange in the GT5 car. It's not very visible, but it is there. As you can see, Diogo Almeida is all over the back of Darren Head. And now he's going for it, he's going for it, he's going for the move, he's going for the move on the inside. That was a bit surprising, but he is absolutely side by side. He is ahead already. He is ahead over Darren. Oh, Darren spins! No! Darren, oh, does not spin, but lost it completely. No fault at all there for Diogo Almeida. That was a perfectly valid move. And Darren lost it and was extremely lucky not to spin, but what a move there by Diogo Almeida. That was the overtaking move of the race in my perspective. That number 24 up into third place. And then look at this, Jumbo is now with severe tire wear, and we've got an unlikely group being formed here with 1.5 laps to go. And this unlikely group is Jumbo, is John Scott, that actually the first couple of laps wasn't running very competitive times. Gonçalo Mota, who was 5 seconds behind the whole field at the end of turn 1 on the first lap, and Simon Allen, who has been in contention for a podium all day, now finding himself in 8th place. So it's a very unlikely set of cars battling it out for 5th place at the end of the race. Gonçalo Mota can clearly see the prize at the end of the tunnel there, because he's right behind. Look at this, John Scott is right behind Jumbo. Jumbo seems to be struggling with his tires. Everyone, look at this, Gonçalo Mota is going for the move. Gonçalo Mota is going for the move, and he's running side by side. Look at Simon Allen now. Simon Allen is oh dear, this is not going to end well, because we have too many cars in oh, look at this, Gonçalo Mota from attacker, from Predator, is down into Prey, and is not giving up. Oh, this didn't work very well. Look at this, everyone running wide. Oh, John Scott is off. John Scott is off, and everyone was just trying a little bit too hard. Let's have a quick look at what happened to John Scott. Everyone seems to have lost it on their own. This is the start of the last lap. A bit of desperation involved here, surely, but I don't think we had the need. Oh, and oh, this is Peter Adrian. I'm sorry. We wanted to get John Scott's perspective first. No, he's completely, well, he's off. Oh, he just loses it. It's just very unfortunate, because you can run through that extended curve without a problem. And John Scott is going to hold on to 9th place. Gonçalo Mota was trying to go around Jumbo, ends up behind Simon Allen. He keeps the position because John Scott, of course, lost it. So Simon Allen from 8th to 6th place. So good last lap so far for Simon Allen, but this is clearly not over, as Delphi Moura, Diogo Silva, Diogo Almeida and Darren Head has one more shot or 2 more shots at most at the podium position. And the first one is here. Diogo Almeida already going defensive there. Diogo Almeida already going defensive. Darren Head thinks about it, but saves the attack for the last few corners. Look at this, tire wear is a big problem right now, as we follow the drivers battling for 3rd place. We'll keep an eye on the checkered flag for Delphi Moura. I don't think that this is going to work for Darren Head unless he makes a lunge on the last corner. Delphi Moura is going to win the race. Delphi Moura domination today here at Oulton Park. 2nd place is going to be Diogo Silva, but who is going to be for 3rd place? Look at this, Diogo Almeida going defensive. Darren Head has to go on the outside. Diogo Almeida protects the line, and I think that's going to be it, unless Darren can make a final move. He's too far behind, and so will be Diogo Almeida on the podium, followed by Darren Head. 5th is going to be Jumbo, and look at this, Simon Allen with the last boost of energy, doesn't make it. 6th place for Simon Allen, 7th Gonçalo Mota, 8th is going to be Peter Adrian, 9th is going to be John Scott, 10th is going to be George Zouge, and 11th is going to be Kev Allen. Not the race that he wanted, but there is more to come in race 2. That number 57 had a little, not a little, had a lot of mistakes, and in a circuit like Oulton Park, that often ends up being quite costly. The race is over, race number 1, and it is Delphi Moura the winner, followed by Diogo Silva, followed by Diogo Almeida. Will go straight on into race 2. So same setup, same car, same circuit, same number of laps, just a different qualifying. You can see Project Cars 2, yes, it is still the simulation that we are using on the PlayStation, as we don't seem to find a better one available. We had a go at Assetto Corsa this year for some of the championships. We might return to Assetto Corsa in the future, but for now we are sticking to this very old simulation from 2017, Project Cars 2, as it has a very wide array of circuits and cars, and also the flexibility to have different settings for the race and have just default setups. So no setups are allowed. We can turn the penalties off as well, which is something that provides often better racing within reason. And so for the foreseeable future, it is going to be Project Cars 2. We are back at Oulton Park. You can see this beautiful circuit, and it is, unsurprisingly, Delphimore that has made another pole position here at Oulton Park, followed by Jorge Jesus. Jorge Jesus was 10th in race 1. He hopes for better in race 2. Diogo Silva and Simon Allen on second row. Third row, Gonçalo Mota, then ahead. Fourth row, Diogo Almeida and Jumbo. Fifth row, Kev Allen and Peter Adrian. And on the sixth row, on his own, is John Scott. We are going to go trackside. Without further ado, we are going to go for an 11 rep race. And look at this, Jorge Jesus, not Jorge Jesus, it's Diogo Almeida again. We had a great start going on the outside there of Gonçalo Mota, and this did not work very well in the first race. Look at this, Diogo Silva already taking a defensive line as well, and Delphine Moura, Delphine clips the curve. Look at this, Diogo Almeida had a great start, and the Kev Allen is off. Kev Allen immediately off the track. We'll get a replay of what happened here. But he is, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, we have a problem, which is the lack of a leaderboard. The bug that we did not see for a long time is going to be problematic in this second race. Let's see what happened to Kev Allen there. It was, I believe, John Scott, the number 40 on the inside, or Peter Adrian. And, oh, and then Kev Allen just... it's Kev Allen that goes to make contact with John Scott, not the other way around. Kev Allen drops to last, and we secretly hope that the leaderboard is going to fix itself, but we're not very confident that that's going to be the case. And it is Delphine Moura, Jorge Jesus, Diogo Silva, Gonçalo Mota with a big scramble there for fourth place. Simon Allen in fifth at number 11. Then is Diogo Almeida, I believe, or Jumbo. Then is Simon Allen already losing time there. Simon Allen already losing time with a bad exit through that corner, and Darren Head is behind him. Gonçalo Mota in fourth. I believe that's Diogo Almeida in fifth. Yes, it is Diogo Almeida in fifth. Then is Simon Allen. Then is Simon Allen, Darren Head, and look at Peter Adrian. Nicely done there, going ahead of Jumbo. And then it's John Scott, and then of course it's Kev Allen that was delayed by that incident in turn 1. We are going to try our best here without the leaderboard. We might miss some action, but we'll keep an eye on the relative positions of the cars, and it's safe to say that Delphine Moura has had another great start. We cannot see the gap, it's under a second surely, but he's going to be leading lap 1. Followed by Jorge Jesus, followed by Diogo Silva, and followed by Gonçalo Mota in fourth. Look at this, Gonçalo Mota. Let's see the action behind him as Darren Head is having a go at Diogo Almeida. Simon Allen having a go. It's Simon Allen having a go at Diogo Almeida. So apologies. So fourth. Look at this, very wide there, as Diogo Almeida is the driver under severe pressure there. We do have lap times, which is good. So we can see whenever a driver has had a problem, at least we can catch that through a very, very slow lap time. As Gonçalo Mota, this is where the action is. Gonçalo Mota, Diogo Almeida, Simon Allen, Darren Head, Peter Adrian. Oh, look at this, Simon Allen on the outside there. It's an unusual overtaking spot, but he thought about it and he was going for it before he decided it wasn't a great idea. As Gonçalo Mota in fourth place is at least a car length clear of these shenanigans, and Simon Allen clearly wants that position badly after having lost a bit of time on the opening lap. Pretty much everyone is together. Jumbo is the car that has cycled back to effectively 9th place, I believe. He's behind Peter Adrian and ahead of John Scott. As we continue to follow Diogo Almeida, fifth place, Gonçalo Mota, that number 55 in fourth. Not that far behind Diogo Silva. Let's have a look at the leaders and how far apart they are. They're 1, 2, 3. So not a huge gap. So Delphine Moura has not been able to open the gap that he has opened in race 1. Still a bit of a comfortable lead. Let's have a look at this. And Simon Allen is again at it, going for Diogo Almeida. And by the way, Darren Head has lost time. Darren Head has definitely lost time. We'll confirm that. Yes, Darren Head has lost quite a bit of time. He has had a bit of a moment. He's behind Peter Adrian, ahead of Jumbo. Let's have a quick look at what happened to Darren Head. As interestingly, we have not had any major incidents so far in this race. So let's see what on earth happened to Darren, as he seems to possibly have lost it just on his own. Not sure any other driver was involved in this. He's behind Peter Adrian, and he's being overtaken by Peter Adrian, and overtaken by... Oh, actually he has... Oh, it was the slightest of mistakes there. He is running wide, puts him a bit out of shape, out of the line, and then here a bit too much wheel spin and zigzagging a little bit. He's behind Simon Allen, but here comes that number 40 of Peter Adrian, and I hope it's Peter Adrian that's the number 40. Yes, it is Peter Adrian that's the number 40, ahead of Darren Head. Then is Jumbo behind. And behind Jumbo we have John Scott. John Scott already a few car lengths behind the Jumbo. So Jumbo is in 9th spot. Darren Head only in 8th, as locking up there at the end of the last corner. Simon Allen continues to go after Diogo Almeida, and Diogo Almeida now going after Gonçalo Mota. So we've got a pretty good scramble here for 4th place, which we shall follow. Gonçalo Mota very wide again into turn 1. Look at Diogo Almeida, really defensive there, and Simon Allen really aggressive as usual. Diogo Almeida almost hitting the back of Gonçalo Mota. This may not end well. You can see the top 6 in the same screech-on. In fact, most of the field in the same screech-on. Here comes Simon Allen. Simon Allen is going for it. Simon Allen is going for it, and I think Diogo Almeida will have to yield here. Yes, he will. Simon Allen up into 5th place. Diogo Almeida down into 6th. At number 55 of Gonçalo Mota continues to hold on to 4th position, and you can see the top 3 not exactly together, but not that far apart either. It's Delphine Moura again, followed by Jorge Jesus, followed by Diogo Silva. Behind this trio of drivers is Peter Adrian, and Darren Head is again. Darren Head has had another problem. He's now been overtaken by Jumbo, and he's under pressure from John Scott. So Darren Head's race not going in the right direction here, as he seems to be struggling somewhat with this car and these tires at this point. John Scott in 10th place, Darren Head in 9th. We'll keep an eye on that battle, but let's have a quick look at Gonçalo Mota in 4th, followed by... Oh, and yes, no, sorry, it's Diogo Silva that has actually lost time. Diogo Silva has lost time on this lap, surely, and the leaderboard is not going to lie about that. As look at this Simon Allen all over the place at the exit of the last corner. The leader is running 147s. Well, the leaders are running 147s. Diogo Silva running 148. 48.8 was not a great lap there for Diogo on this lap, and he's starting to become the target of Gonçalo Mota in 4th. 5th is Simon Allen. 6th is Diogo Almeida. 7th is Peter Adrian. 8th is Jumbo. Jumbo also all over the back of Peter. 9th is Darren Head. Darren has checked out now from John Scott, and you can see Cavallo there at the back as well. Running 11, not the greatest round so far for Cavallo, in 11th place in race 1, and now running 11th as well in race 2, at least in the first third of the race, as Peter Adrian is defending from Jumbo. Let's have a look at the race leaders, which are now more of a duet than a trio, as Diogo Silva has lost a little bit of time. Gonçalo Mota, Simon Allen, Diogo Almeida, Peter Adrian. Peter Adrian is the driver that is battling hardest now with Jumbo for 8th place. For 7th place, sorry. 7th place, 8th is Jumbo, 9th is Darren Head, 10th is John Scott. That number 40 of Peter Adrian, and the pressure from Jumbo. Lap 4 out of 11, and we shall have a look at the lap times again to see if anyone lost time or gained time. We'll get the replay of any moments as they happen in this race. Apologize for the lack of leaderboard. We do not have the gaps between drivers, but you can see they're all close to one another, fortunately. Darren Head is not really making any ground. The leader is through. Oh, the Peter Agent makes a mistake there. Peter Agent makes a mistake and he loses 7th place. Jumbo up into 7th. The leader has done a 147.6, 147.9 for Jorge Jesus. Diogo Silva does not have the pace at this point. He's done 142s, but look at this. This is a great battle here between Gonçalo Mota and Simon Allen. And we've seen this effect in race 1 as well. The driver behind, as long as you can be on the drafting. Look at this, Simon Allen now going on the outside. This is potentially not going to work. It makes it work. Oh no, he doesn't. He's going to go, he's going to hit something. No. How did he save this, Simon Allen? Incredible stuff. Gonçalo Mota also kept his cool quite a bit there. We'll get a replay of this view because I thought that Simon Allen was surely going to hit something solid here on lap 5. He was heading towards, well, this is he kind of makes it work on the outside here, but well, it's brave. He makes it work. When he thinks he makes it work, he's off the track. He avoids the tires, he goes through the gravel, and somehow Gonçalo Mota manages to get on the racing line without Simon Allen hitting him. That could have been a disaster there. Simon Allen clearly very aggressive, just like we saw in race 1. He definitely wants that 4th place, and Gonçalo Mota is under severe pressure. Simon Allen makes another mistake. Simon Allen makes another mistake. Here comes Diogo Almeida, the man in 6th place. He is going to now put some pressure on Simon Allen. Jumbo is in 7th. By the way, Darren Head is up into 8th place. Yes, he is up into 8th place because Peter Adrian made a mistake in the last corner. He was a little bit out of shape, and we believe that Darren has overtaken Peter during this lap 5. Getting to the midpoint of this race, we've seen this in race 1 as well, that number 40 and that number 39 together. Peter Adrian ahead of John Scott, and it's 9th and 10th, and Kev Allen is running 11th. He's not enjoying this particular combo of car and track. Delphi Moura again crosses the line to complete lap 5, and the lap time is going to be a 1:48.1, so tire wear becoming a bit of an issue. 48.3 for Jorge Jesus, 48.6 for Diogo Silva. And where is Gonçalo Mota? He is in 4th place ahead of Simon Allen and Diogo Almeida. They all continue to run wide, big time there in turn 1. Then it's Jumbo, and Jumbo has had a moment. Jumbo has had a moment in turn 1, and what on earth happened to him, we don't know, and we are not going to find out with the trackside camera. But it seems to me that he just lost it in turn 1. Going through the curb like that is not advisable. He's in the grass. He does not speed, but Darren Head has more momentum and goes up into 7th place. So Darren Head salvaging something from this race as it stands, as he has been in 10th, 9th, 8th, now 7th. At least he's moving in the right direction, as the other two drivers, Peter Adrian and John Scott. Oh, John Scott has had a big problem. John Scott has had a big problem. He's done a 2:02. He was behind Peter Adrian. We're not sure if this is connected with Peter or if he just lost it on his own, but the 2:02 is he's just lost it on his own, didn't he, in this very fast section. A bit of an unusual off there, as he goes too much on the inside there, and then is a complete passenger. And now this gravel and reset button for John Scott. Reset button use, which is and you can see that Kev Allen was almost hitting him as well, and then that's the exact reason why we don't like the reset button, as Kev Allen, who's having not a great race, look at this, all of a sudden there's going to be a car appearing at some point magically. Well, it doesn't seem like it. Well, in any case, John Scott loses 10th place now into 11th, 9th is Kev Allen. This promotes Peter Adrian on his own now to 8th place. 7th is 7th is Jambo, sorry. 8th is Jambo, 7th is Darren Head, 6th is Diogo Almeida. And is this a replay or is this Simon Allen again going at it? No, it's not a replay. It looked like a replay of Simon Allen going on the outside, but Gonçalo Mota continues to be under severe pressure from Simon Allen, and this is not going to be over. There's still 5 laps to go at the end of this one, and some good battles here in some good battle here between Simon Allen and Gonçalo Mota. And look at this, Diogo Silva is losing an enormous amount of time and is now basically part of this battle as well. Diogo Silva not well, did he have a moment as well, because he seems to have lost quite a lot of time, and individual mistakes seem to be the theme of this second race. And yes, he has been off the track, Diogo Silva. Did he clip that? Very solid. No, he clipped the curb. Oh yes, he clipped that and went off. And Gonçalo Mota is now all over him. So the battle for fourth has now become the battle for third, as we see in the same screen. Diogo Silva, Gonçalo Mota, Simon Allen, Diogo Almeida, 4 cars that are third, fourth, fifth and sixth. And this is potentially a bit of a game changer in this race, as now surely Diogo Silva has no chance whatsoever of going into the top 2, but he might be vulnerable. We've seen this before. A driver just loses a bit of time, all of a sudden he loses 2 or 3 positions. Let's keep an eye on what's happening with Diogo Silva as Delfim Moura continues to lead this race. He's led every lap of race 1 and he's potentially en route to leading every lap of race 2. 48.0, 48.2 for well, it's more like a 48.1 for the leader, 48.2 for Jorge Jesus. Then it's Diogo Silva, unsurprisingly, a 50.3, which is not a great lap time. Simon Allen is again at it. Ooh, almost contact there at the back. Diogo Silva trying to hang on to that third place. And in fact, the fact that Gonçalo Mota and Simon Allen are so close together is actually benefiting him a little bit. Gonçalo Mota tried to hold on to that train. Simon Allen aggressively chasing that podium. Lap 7 out of 11. Diogo Almeida seems to have lost a bit of momentum now. He's running a couple of seconds back in 7th, running on his own, still hopeful that he can get to the battles in front. Then it's Darren Head, unless something has changed. Darren Head in 7th, Peter Adrian in 8th, 9th. What happened to Jambo? Did Jambo have at the moment? Yes, he had a moment, and it was on the previous lap, so we may not have the time to review there what happened to Jambo, but he's dropped back to 9th spot. John Scott in 10th. No, John Scott is not 10th. I apologize. I keep mixing up John Scott and Peter Adrian. So let's see what we know. We know that Diogo Almeida is in 6th place. We know that Darren Head is in 7th. What happened to Darren Head? Darren Head is behind Kev Allen. Darren Head has had a moment. Darren Head has had a big moment, so we definitely will rewind now and figure out what happened to Darren Head, and while we are at it, we'll also see what happened to Jambo, because Darren Head is running behind. Darren Head is running 10th, basically. We're going to go to the chase camera, which is easier to capture what's going on. Darren Head is in there he is. Oh, and that he's had a big moment. So Darren Head was in 7th spot and he lost it on his own. He's going to park the car beautifully there at the exit of that corner. Just too much acceleration, the curb, and beautiful parking there in that controlled parking zone. There goes Peter Adrian. So Peter Adrian goes up into 7th, Up into 8 goes Kev Allen, incredibly. Darren Head is 9th. Jumbo is in 7th, I apologize. Jumbo is in 7th. Peter Adrian is in 8th. 9th is Kev Allen. 10th is Darren Head. 11th is John Scott. Now we got it right at the end of lap 7, but John Scott not having the race that he wanted with that incident earlier on. Darren Head has had not the greatest of weekends either. Now this big mistake has put him in 10th. Kev Allen has run at the back for most of the race. He's now in 9th and trying to chase Peter Adrian, but he's still a few seconds behind. Peter Adrian in 8th and Jumbo in 7th. But look at this, they are at the he's at the hairpin now. You can see the cars in front several seconds ahead, as Diogo Almeida is the driver in 6th spot. Now we've got this absolutely right, as the battle between Gonçalo Mota and Simon Allen continues throughout lap 7. And the absence of the leaderboard is what has made this a little bit difficult, as that number 55, actually very good race for Gonçalo Mota. That number 55, he's been defending pretty much every lap against Simon Allen, who is one of the leading drivers, of course, in Old Fox Racing PlayStation. And Simon Allen has not found a way around Gonçalo Mota, and in fact Diogo Almeida now seems to be getting closer. We'll keep an eye on the lap times at the end of lap 7, so that's lap 8, 9, 10 and 11. Look at this, Simon Allen we tried to make his signature move, and Gonçalo Mota defending a little bit too late, but still still within limits. And Simon Allen uses that fact that Gonçalo got a little bit out of shape to go now and take the position into turn 1. Simon Allen up into 3rd place, but runs wide big time. Runs wide big time there, Simon Allen, and Gonçalo Mota recovers the position. What happened to Simon Allen? He seemed to have it didn't seem to be so tight there that he had to run wide. He was certainly on the inside, but he could have probably taken an approach to the corner that was a little bit better. Look at this, he's now going on the outside again. He's going on the outside again, and he is again. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Now he's going to spin. Yes, he's going to spin this time round, and this is again Simon Allen. Simon Allen, Simon Lagaffe, like the French commentator used to call him, and this is the first time we can forgive the mistake. The second time it was pretty obvious that this was not going to work. This is exactly a carbon copy. He's been trying this move every lap, and well, it's exactly a carbon copy, isn't it? Because he now wants to get out of it. He's exactly in the same position as he was before, except that this time he's already rotating. So when he gets to the gravel, he doesn't actually spin, which is incredible. He does lose a position to Diogo Almeida that says thank you very much, up into 5th place. So again, a very good moment here. Well, very entertaining moment for sure in this race, now with just 3 laps to go. And now Gonçalo Mota has a new buddy, and that's Diogo Almeida there at the back. Diogo Silva is absolutely loving this because he's opened a few car lengths of a gap and he's holding on to that 3rd spot. Simon Allen now has to do it all over again. He does have the pace and the aggressiveness, but it was a little bit too much. But he does seem to have more pace. Look at this, he's all over Diogo Almeida already within a few corners. Lap number 8 out of 11. It's 3 laps to go at the end of this one. Still plenty of racing. One lap is 1:47 for the leader, so a little bit less than 2 minutes. So we still have around 6 minutes to go in this race. Simon Allen is going to try to go on the inside there. He always gets a very good exit out of this corner, and he's going to go for it. And there's going to be another move there by Simon Allen, the man that has made the most moves work. Also the man that has made the most moves that don't work. At least he's trying hard to make overtakes, and actually we have not seen that many overtakes here at Oulton Park. We've seen individual mistakes. Let's go through the field here on lap 9 and try to get the order right this time. Delphi Moura is led every lap here at Oulton Park, and is now 2.5 laps from victory. Second place is George Luz. Third place is Diogo Silva. Fourth place is Gonçalo Mota, and Gonçalo Mota is being chased again by Simon Allen. We would like to say that we will keep an eye on that gap, but we're not sure how to because we don't have the leaderboard. Fifth is Simon Allen. Sixth is Diogo Almeida. That seems to be struggling with his tires. You can see in the previous lap he did get the position from Simon Allen. He was very close to the back of Gonçalo Mota, but then lost a lot of time on the second half of that lap. We're not sure that Diogo Almeida has at the moment what he needs to go after a podium position, as he seems to be struggling a little bit with his tires. Seventh place is this is again, we need to remember actually who's in seventh place. That's Jumbo. Eighth place Peter Adrian, and Peter is recovering quite a lot of ground. Jumbo again seems to be fading out a little bit in the last stage of this race, just like in race 1. Ninth is Kev Allen. 10th is Darren Head, and 11th is John Scott there at the back. We'll keep an eye on the battle, but look at this. We have again these two together. Simon Allen definitely has more pace, better tires, and he's very quick in this final section of this racetrack as he now tries to find a place on the inside. Gonçalo Mota sees him coming, gives him space on the outside, and this is again going to be a Simon Allen move on the outside. That probably is not going to be very successful unless he gets a lot of momentum getting out of the corner, which does not seem to be the case. Now he's still very much in play for turn 1. Can he do it? Gonçalo Mota goes defensive. Gonçalo Mota trying to make that Ginetta as wide as possible as they go now for lap 10. We're almost contact there as Gonçalo Mota takes the racing line. Look at this, Simon Allen is going to go for it. It's not very, at least he's on the inside line, but he's too far behind. He's too far behind to make a move. Is he going to try again to make that move in the next corner? We shall find out. He certainly seems to come with a lot of momentum. Gonçalo Mota sees him coming, goes defensive. Gonçalo Mota goes defensive. Simon Allen is going to go for it. No, he wisely now gives up that particular idea. That number 55 only has to hold on for another lap and a half. Look at this, Simon Allen hits the back of Gonçalo Mota, losing it in the braking point, which is very easy in this particular corner. Only 1.5 laps to go, and this battle is absolutely red hot here at Oulton Park. Look at this, Simon Allen bumping into Gonçalo Mota there at the chicane, and Diogo Almeida is coming back at them as they tangle a little bit and lose a few precious tenths of seconds. Now only 1 lap to go, and it's going to be Delphi Moura again. Remember, Diogo Silva won both races of the opening round. Delphi Moura now won both races in this second round. At least if he can hold on to 1 more lap in the lead of this race. But can Gonçalo Mota hold for 1 more lap in this particular position of 4th place? Let's find out what's going to happen here as Simon Allen again is very quick at the exit. Gonçalo Mota goes defensive. It's going to be, this is not the last lap, this is the penultimate lap as Simon Allen tries that outside line once again. Now he tries to make the switcheroo move to go on the inside. Can he do it? He's coming with a lot of momentum and he's going to go for it. I'm not sure he's going to be able to go absolutely side by side into the first corner, but he's going to try. Gonçalo Mota breaks as late as possible and keeps the position. Simon Allen is, look at this, Gonçalo Mota trying to make that car as wide as possible. And by the way, Diogo Silva has checked out, unsurprisingly, from this group. He's now firmly in 3rd place, as now the driver on the move is Diogo Almeida. Here comes Diogo Almeida, and we saw this, of course. Diogo Almeida was bound to gain time. He's going to go for it. It's the last lap. Can you go? He's thinking about going on the inside here. Not quite close enough, as Simon Allen was also not quite close enough to Gonçalo Mota. 1 more, well, half a lap to go, and it's still very uncertain. Look at this, Simon Allen with an amazing exit there from the hairpin, but very difficult to make an overtaking move here before that chicane. Only a few more corners to go in this race, and this is absolutely epic. Oh, Simon Allen quit! Oh no! Simon Allen loses it. Simon Allen loses it, and that's the end of his quest for 4th place. He loses the position to Diogo Almeida as well, and this is a classic. Oh, he's just tried to make a good run out of the chicane, but he's on the grass. No grip there, and he does not use the reset button. He should be able to hold on to what is now 6th place, as Jumbo is a little behind. By the way, Kev Allen is up into 8th place, and Darren Head has had another moment surely, as he is down into 10th. We'll keep an eye on, well, we'll keep an eye on the final classification in a moment, but we just followed the leader, which we haven't seen that much in this race. Delphi Mora has absolutely dominated Oulton Park. That number 30 baby blue car, baby blue livery, is going to take another win, and he goes for the checkered flag. Delphi Mora wins second race at Oulton Park. Second is going to be George Zush. Third is going to be Darren Head. Sorry, Diogo Silva. Fourth is going to be Gonçalo Mota after an amazing race defending from Simon Allen. Fifth is going to be Diogo Almeida. Sixth is going to be Simon Allen. And look at this, Kev Allen is up into... No, he's not. Jumbo is going to finish 7th. Kev Allen is going to finish 8th. 9th is Peter Adrian. 10th is going to be Darren Head or John Scott. Is going to be John Scott, because Darren Head dropped to 11th on the last lap. Something happened to Darren Head on the last lap, and that's going to be our farewell replay. It obviously happened on the last lap because he's done the 1:54.40 on the previous one, which is not that slow a time. Maybe it happened a couple of laps ago, at which point we are not going to rewind 2 laps to see this, but well, it seems to have happened a couple of laps ago. In any case, not the greatest race for Darren Head, as he crosses the line in 11th. And that concludes the coverage of this round. See you in the next round in the United States, in the state of New York, in Watkins Glen, the last race with the Ginetta G40 in this championship. And your podium for Oulton Park, it is Delphi Mora, Jorge Jesus and Diogo Silva. See you soon.